Hey, what's up? I hope you're all having a good day or night, depending on where you are or what time you're watching this right now. So, today I'm just going to be asking you a bunch of personal questions, okay? So, I haven't thought of any of these yet, or I'm not going to be using anything to like read off of. So, these are just going to be like questions that, just that I think of on the spot, basically. So, I will be writing them down as well. So, yeah, that's basically all I'm doing today. So, yeah. Okay, first question is, if you won the lottery, what would you do with the winnings? Say you won $5 million. Yeah, $5 million. What would you do with your winnings? What is the first thing you would do and buy with your winnings? So what would you buy with lottery winnings? My answer for that has like changed over the years. Used to would be like to rent out an amusement park or buy a pool. Now it would be to just like get a house, probably, honestly, or a car. I don't know. I would still rent out an amusement park though, for sure. That would be very cool. Okay, second question. What is your favorite color? Yeah, what is your favorite color? Mine's a color combination of black and white. Just anything that's black and white I really like. But if I had to choose like a single color, it would either be red or purple. Yeah, that would be mine. Okay, number 3. What did you do yesterday? Not today, but what did you do yesterday? Yeah. Okay. And to follow that, what will you be doing tomorrow? Yeah, what will you do tomorrow? Okay. What is the name of your pet? What is the name of your pet? And if you don't have a pet, then what would you name your pet if you had a pet? Doesn't matter what kind of pet, like, doesn't matter if it's a dog or a fish or a cat or a lizard or, I don't know, lion. What would you name your pet if you had a pet? And if you do have a pet, what is that pet's name? So, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna ask a real crazy question. I feel like all I've asked so far is just like standard questions that most people ask for these videos. But I want to ask a crazy one. I feel like if I were to do that, it would easily get messed up, though. You know? I don't want to get too personal, but then again, you don't have to answer. So, let's ask it anyway. If you could get rid of one thing or person on this planet, doesn't mean killing them, but just like making them disappear forever. So like less killing and more of like erasing them from existence, like they were never there to begin with, or something was never there to begin with. What or who would it be, and why? Yeah, I know I got very personal with that one, but like I said, all the other questions are kind of boring and basic and things you've probably already heard. So trying to throw in some new questions because I doubt many people would ask something like that. So yeah, I'm not gonna write all that down, so I'm just gonna make some scribble sounds. So yeah. Okay. What's another one? Do you prefer, or what is your go-to response in rock, paper, scissors? Do you go with rock or paper or scissors most of the time? So, rock, paper, or scissors? What is your go-to choice? I think mine would probably be, I think mine's rock. Yeah. Okay. Who is your favorite sports team or sports player? And that could be for any sport. Basketball, baseball, football, hockey, golf, any of them. So, favorite sports team or player. Okay. Number 9. Did you ever do something at the age of, I don't know, let's say 13 that you deeply regret? Like something that has burned itself into your memory that you deeply regret, or something that you did that was very embarrassing that you regret doing. Had to have been at the age of 13 though. So, ever regret something from the age 13? Yeah. How about who? No. Why or why wouldn't you want to go to space? Yeah, so why would you go to space, or why wouldn't you? Okay, and I don't know, I keep trying to think of crazy ones. I'm trying to keep things unoriginal here. But it's hard to, because crazier questions are harder to think of. Because, like, of course, it's easy to ask, like, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? But I don't want to ask simple questions like that. This is a personal question video. And sure, favorite flavor of ice cream is personal, but when I think personal, I think more along the lines of very personal. Like, deepest, darkest secret type of thing, you know? Don't tell me your deepest, darkest secret. That's your business. I don't want to know that, but I'm just saying that's the type of questions I'm trying to think of. So if why okay, no. If you have ever blackmailed somebody or backstabbed somebody, what was your reason and excuse? What was your reason and excuse for doing so? So, like, if you ever betrayed someone's trust, or did something you shouldn't have, or went behind someone's back, or threw somebody under the bus, why, and what possible reason could you have had for doing so? So, yeah, just going to do some more scribbles for that. I'm probably just going to keep on scribbling because even when I'm writing these questions, I'm kind of just not doing it very neatly. So, yeah, that's the question. And remember, you don't have to answer these. Nobody's making you answer these, so you don't have to. I'm just asking these types of questions to keep it more interesting for both me and hopefully you as well. So, let's try to think of a more positive one. I feel like it's even harder to think of a more positive, deeply personal question compared to like a negative one. But I'll try. What was the... Okay, if you've ever been in love, who was the name of the first person you fell in love with, and how did you know you were in love? Like, what did that person do, or like, where was it, or what happened to where like you felt that spark, you know? Yeah, that's pretty personal and more positive. Yeah. So, first love and why, basically. Or first love and how did you know? Yeah. And I guess that doesn't have to be like romantic love either. Maybe it was like falling in love with a certain hobby that you've been doing for a long time now, or love for like a friend. Like, it could be a friendship type of thing, and like how you knew this person would be like, you know, your main person. Just, you know, love in general. Doesn't have to be romantical. Okay. Do you... Have you ever been caught doing something you know was wrong, or caught doing something you shouldn't have been doing? And that could be a number of things, like stealing, or cheating, and that could be cheating on a test or a person, you know, just something bad, and you got caught doing it. Have you ever been caught doing something you shouldn't have been doing? And that can be a yes or no question. You don't have to say what it was that you were doing. And follow up to that question. If the answer was yes, did that make you stop doing that thing, or did you still eventually keep doing that same thing that you got caught doing? Yeah. What else? Have you ever farted and blamed it on someone else? Yeah. Ever farted and blamed it on someone else, or the chair, or the wind, just blamed it on something other than yourself? Okay, what next? What else? Because this happens to everyone, so I'll just assume that you have been through this as well. When was the last time you caught yourself, like, laying there trying to go to sleep, yet something you did forever ago is keeping you up at night? And this could be like an embarrassing moment, or a moment you regret, or somebody did something to you. When was the last time you were kept up at night by a bad memory relating to something like that? Yeah. Because if you're lucky, that's never happened to you, and hey, that's awesome. But majority of people go through that, so. Okay. Because, I go through it too. I don't know the last time I was kept up at night, though. I don't know. I feel like every time I've gone to bed recently, I've been too tired to even think of anything anyway, so. Got lucky. Okay. Okay, here's a good one. If you have a family business, that could be, say your dad has a job, and his dad before him did the same job, and your sibling is going to do the same job, and your great great grandparents did the same job. For all the family you met, they all did the same job, and that could be a family only business, or just a job, like a mechanic. Say your entire family you're in a family of mechanics. Say they were all mechanics, and they wanted you to also be a mechanic, but you have no interest in that. Would you be a mechanic because that's what your family does and you don't want to let them down? Or would you say, I don't care, I'm gonna do my own thing, it's my life? And would you leave that behind and do what you really want to do and chase your dreams? Hey. So, yeah. Okay. What else? I don't know. Hopefully these are. I don't know. I'm trying to be as personal as I can without going too far, because questions can be really personal, so I'm not going too far, but I'd like to be personal enough to where the things can be really interesting. Okay. I'm not gonna ask anything that would be bad though, you know? Because there can be bad questions that are too personal, and I wouldn't want to ask any of those because I've seen videos of people asking people very, very, very personal questions, and how uncomfortable and how defensive people get, which is understandable. It's always just thrown me off on how careless people can be when it comes to asking about people's personal lives. So I'm trying to be personal, but not too personal. So hopefully I'm, in that range. Okay. I feel like I'm really close to the webcam. I'm looking at the screen and it looks like I'm really close, but it's all the way over there. I don't know. The webcam I have is it's the camera itself is automatically zoomed in a bit. So, I don't know. It's not too bad. Okay. Have you ever lied to either your family or friends or loved ones so you could get out of doing something? And this could be something as little as taking out the trash and you said, "Oh, I'm busy right now. I'm talking to someone or doing homework." It could be as little as that, or it could be a family member asked you to, I don't know, come to their wedding, and you said, "I can't, I'm too busy with work," and they called me in and it's an all hands on deck situation, when in reality it's your day off. So yeah, it could range from any of that. So yeah. Ever lied to get out of doing something or going somewhere? Okay. We'll ask a few more. I'll ask you a few more questions here. Okay, here's a good one. Have you ever, let me get the mic a bit closer to me. Have you ever what's the best way to phrase this? Okay, I'll ask this in two separate ways. Okay, first, has someone ever asked for your number or Snapchat or Instagram or whatever, and just to get them away from you, you gave them a completely random number or Snapchat that wasn't even you and just walked away? Yeah. So give them a random person's number and walk away, never to see them again. And then the other way of asking that, I guess, would be, have you ever, if someone was asking for your number, have you ever given them your real number, and then as soon as they texted you or called you, you ghosted them or blocked them right away? Yeah. Okay. Is it getting darker? I'm looking at the screen again and I feel like it's gotten darker compared to when I started filming this. I don't know, it probably has. I think the sun's going down. Okay. I don't know, I kinda like filming in the dark like this. I feel like it's more relaxing. Yeah. Okay. Have you ever... Okay. I hope the answer to this is no. Just putting it out there, because if the answer is yes, then something is not right with you. But have you ever stolen from the less fortunate or the homeless? If you want to get specific. Have you ever stolen from somebody that's worse off than... Or have you ever stolen from someone that doesn't have it as good as you have it? There you go. Yeah. Because believe it or not, there are people out there that do that. So, unfortunately, it is a real question. So, okay. I think one more. Yeah, one more. But what? What should we close with? Let's make it good. Nice and personal for this last one. No, that's too messed up. I can't ask that. Yeah, no, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. But I'm not gonna ask it anyway. Have you ever threatened somebody? Yeah. That can be intense. Yeah. Have you ever threatened someone? And that can range from a wide variety of intensity, you know? This could be like, I don't know, a middle school threat where if somebody were to take your spot at lunch, would say, get up, or I'm going to tell the teacher, or get up, or this tray of food is going to find its way right into your face. That type of threat. And that could range from something small like that all the way to, life threatening. Like, get out that car and give it to me, or, bang bang type of threat. So, have you ever threatened someone? Or have you ever been threatened? Yeah. Have you ever threatened someone, or have you ever been threatened? And if so, what was the outcome? Yeah. So, if you ever threatened someone, what was the outcome, and why, for what reason did you threaten someone? Or have you ever been threatened, and what happened? Yeah. So, hopefully those were personal enough for you. Yeah. Hopefully not too bad. But, like I said, I didn't want to ask the same questions that I always hear in all the other ASMR asking personal question videos. Like, before this, I watched a few videos about asking personal questions, and they all kind of asked the same things, which were kind of like the same questions I began with, like, what would you do if you won the lottery, or what's your favorite color? Like, sure, that's personal, but it's overdone, I don't want to ask questions that you've probably already answered before. So I wanted to come up with some unique ones that hopefully haven't been asked in videos like this. So, because that's what I try and do with my channel. Like, I try and do things that have been done and that is standard for ASMR, but at the same time, sometimes I try and do unique things that I haven't seen done before. Like when I did horror related things, or this, or I don't know. I can't think of something else right now, but I'm sure there was maybe something else, probably, hopefully. But yeah, I don't know. I try to keep it original sometimes. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you didn't get too offended with any of these questions. If you did, then sorry, but you know you don't gotta answer them. So if you did want to answer them and you're comfortable with it, then let me know. You know, I'd be interested in reading your answers. So yeah, anyway, that's about it. So again, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all have a great rest of your day or night, and I hope you all are feeling much more relaxed and well and sleepy compared to before you clicked on this video. And with that, the video is now over. So again, thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. So thanks again, and goodbye.